Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm the Angry Simmer, and today we're going to be redecorating one of the apartments in San-Myshino because I'm continuing on my just reluctance to use the snow mod again. Not because it's not wonderful, but because the high for today is 14 degrees where I live, and you'll be seeing this on January 2nd, but I'm recording this January 1st, which is my birthday. And if you watched any of my previous videos from this, from this week would be just Monday, but if you've watched any of my previous videos in the last week or two, I've talked about my birthday and what happens to me on my birthday. And I thought I had made it. I really did. But unfortunately, I'm sick once again on my birthday. Woke up, I can't say in the middle of the night because, you know, I didn't go to bed until after midnight Central Time. But I woke up at some indeterminate hour, got sick, and went back to bed afterwards, and woke up this morning still feeling horrible. I thought it was just because I ate way too much food last night because I made pulled chicken. My mother-in-law made meatballs and chili, and my husband made mac and cheese, and we had green beans and cake for my birthday and all kinds of crazy stuff. And so I thought I had too much food, but I still feel horrible. I have a headache right now. No, I did not consume any alcohol. So I may or may not be posting as much this week. I'm probably just gonna soldier through like I'm doing today because I was inspired by something that I saw on Pinterest. It was actually just the back porch. It made me think of this this particular apartment, which took me a full 10 minutes to track down. I don't know why I was having such a hard time figuring out which apartment it was that had this, but yeah, it took me longer than I'm comfortable admitting. So it was this back patio, and it was beautiful. It had all these details and covered in plants, and then I realized that I can't change the railing on this because Maxis hates me. I can't change the door that goes out to the rest of the apartment building. It drives me nuts too. I can change everything else about the apartment with CC, but God forbid I change that front door. Anyways, I'm a little bit crankier because I'm sick, I think, and headache and all that fun stuff. But I do love this particular one just because it kind of reminds me of my great grandma. She just, like, you walked into her house and there are plants everywhere, like just unnecessary places for plants to be, or just unorthodox places for plants to be. Also, I love that chandelier. I'm sure it was inspired by Deligracy making her own without CC. But the more I look at it, the more I'm like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it's over your head and the water is going to drip down on you and you're going to get water and soil and fertilizer and all that fun stuff in your hair. So no. I do play around a lot because I wanted to add more greenery into this area back here. But I decided it needed more depth to the building just in general. So I add a few more things here, thanks to Peacemaker's archways here in a second, and that kind of just takes the rest of the theme on for this build. So it's really quick. It's, you know, it only took me about 15 minutes to do this whole thing. I need to stop calling them builds because it's not really a build if I'm just redecorating, but it goes in my speed build playlist anyway, so what do you guys care? Sorry, I just looked over. I've got Bill Nye Saves the World on my iPad while I was editing, and it's in the Bill Needed a Minute thing, and so there's a holographic spinning Bill Nye head coming out of his watch, freeze framed on my iPad screen. Which, okay, listen, I'm gonna take a second. I need a minute, like Bill Nye. Have you guys seen that Microsoft commercial? It's either Microsoft or Apple iPad, I can't remember which, but it's a tablet, and it's a 12 or 13-year-old girl, and she's just completely, like, they dressed her to completely pander to millennials and kids of this generation, which I get, totally makes sense. That's who you're, you know, trying to get to convince their parents to buy these things. But hey, but at the end of the video, her neighbor walks out of the brownstone that they live in New York City, and this hipster child is laying on the grass outside playing on her iPad, doing what may have you, and the neighbor goes, "What are you doing there on your computer?" And she goes, "What's a computer?" I want to smack the ever-living bejesus out of that child, because are you kidding? What's a computer? Really? Ugh. Made me so angry. It's the worst campaign I've seen since Puppy Monkey Baby. And at least that one gets stuck in your head. That commercial, I couldn't even focus on what brand they were selling to me. And stuff like that gets me so mad. And I know, like, clearly they monitor what we do, what we read, what we watch to give us proper ads. And so that leads me to my other thing I'm annoyed about. I love BuzzFeed Blue and the Unsolved stuff, but they keep showing this advertisement for a movie to the point that I don't want to see. And it's a scary movie. I don't do scary movies. Surprise. But they keep showing this thing, and I've skipped the ad every chance that I get. And I don't like to skip ads because I know people make their money off of ad revenue. But anyways, I've found myself yelling at the phone, I don't want to see this movie. Stop showing the advertisement, hoping that somebody's listening in and they'll stop showing it, because I don't want to see it. I don't want to have to cover my phone like a child because I'm scared. I really am scared. I don't want to see this movie. I don't like scary movies. I don't like being scared. I don't know why people pay to be scared. Why I watch the ghost things is because I'm a cynic and I don't believe in ghosts. I don't. But, you know, it's interesting, the dichotomy between the two. That's not the right word, but anyways, the difference between the two people doing this, the one person that really believes, the one person that really doesn't. I enjoy watching it, but not scary movies. So please Google ads. Stop showing that one on YouTube, okay? Thanks. Now that I've complained about 2 ads, enough for you guys to know that I'm really a cranky old man on the inside. Sorry, these are the things that come to mind whenever I'm ill, so. Which, fun thing about me, I found myself sticking to the old, sticking to my guns about what I thought when I was a kid helped me out, which was Sprite as medicine. And so the only thing that I've really have intake in today is Sprite, which is crazy. And I should probably do something more like chicken noodle soup. I really wanted ramen, not like packaged ramen noodles, like real ramen from Japan. And this morning I was kind of laying in bed sulking that I was sick on my birthday again, and I told my husband he should go in and make me ramen because we had bought some noodles from World Market for making ramen, and there's just no option of me making it. A, I'm sick. B, I'm not a good cook. And ramen is actually pretty difficult. You may not think so, but it's it's time consuming. I was like, I go, I know it's a lot, and you said you didn't want to cook today because it's the last day before he goes back to work. I was like, but I wish Nami Ramen was closer to us, or that they delivered, and he's like, yeah, that's unrealistic because we live really far away from the city for them to, have anything like Nami Ramen, which is this awesome kind of hipster restaurant in St. Louis. But they just have super good ramen. We really enjoyed it when we went, and the ramen is just what you want to eat when you don't feel good. So that's what I want. And he was kind of like, yeah, that's basically like wishing we had 2 little Japanese grandparents next door that could cook for us all the time. That's what you're asking for here, basically. I'm like, yes, I am. Why is this not possible? Love me somebody's Japanese grandparents and feed me ramen. This is what happens whenever I get sick. I get really whiny, so I apologize, guys. The man cold is bad, but when I get the flu, it's awful. But usually I don't talk this much when I have the flu. Usually it's just, laying in bed, woe is me, hoping that people bring me blankets and stuffed animals because I'm a grown-up. Yep, I am an adult and I want my stuffed animals. But yeah, but I'm talking to you guys, having a good time, listening to my phone blow up for the rest of the day because people don't call you or send you a birthday card anymore. They you know, send you a message on Facebook, which, you know what, I still appreciate seeing that, so that's awesome. But, you know, when your parents tell you happy birthday on Facebook, it's kind of like, oh, maybe I'm not the favorite child anymore. Anyways, I have talked about myself this whole time, and I actually intended on talking about the styling of this place. So the Sims that I made prior to starting to redecorate this apartment are kind of rock and roll, kind of artistic. When I opened up the game and opened up Create a Sim, I got the Sim that has the tattoos, the yellow shirt, the kind of nerdy guy. I cannot remember what that Sim's name is, but I got him and I was like, you know what? We're going Rockstar. We're going to have a really cool Rockstar Sim, and I'm going to MC Command Center cheat him into being, you know, high in the career, because that's what I do. And then I'm going to make his girlfriend. And I kind of felt like I stereotyped it a little bit, so that's why I wanted the apartment to feel like it had more depth, because he, to me, seemed like a really cool rock star, and I gave him interesting style. But the girl, I found myself like making her look like she'd had plastic surgery, and you know, just kind of a little too much of a caricature of some women that I know that are wives or girlfriends of fan members, and I felt like a jerk about it. So I made her an artist, and then I just completely decked it out with plants and photographs, and I wanted it to feel like they live in this apartment because he's on tour all the time, and she's an artist, and she spends more time painting and you know, growing plants and things like that than she would worrying about cleaning a big house or something like that. Like, I feel like they're successful, but her aesthetic is kind of black and white, and but then to feel homey, like I feel like she grew up in the Midwest and always kind of liked more edgy music, but people in her church maybe didn't like it, and that's when she got tattoos and moved to San-Myshino and met the man of her dreams. But she, you know, since she grew up in the Midwest on a farm, she still wants to plant all those beautiful plants that are outside on the trellis. So you'll see me pull out this piece of CC several times in the video. It's a desk and a bed together, and it was 4 apartment builds. I think it's by Novvis, I think is the simmer's name that creates them, and they're just like IKEA themed things, and it's for small apartment builds. And so that was another thing. I saw that and I wanted to do an apartment build, but I didn't have a feeling until I saw that terrace. So I will find a way to use that and showcase it to you guys, because it's just so awesome and I love it so much. But I put in like a little guest room in here. I think I'm gonna have them have some kids, because that's my plan for the day, is just to stay in my office wrapped up in a blanket, and, you know, play some Sims and maybe record some stuff for you guys. But we are coming up on the screenshot, so thank you so much for bearing with me while I'm sick. I hope you guys are having a wonderful 2018 so far, and I'm excited to get started in this year with you guys. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button, hit subscribe so you can see more of it, because I've got a lot more planned, I promise. And yeah, hang out with me some more, and don't forget to comment that I was a whiny baby about my being sick. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. That's hurtful. But you guys have a great time, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye!